Oh, it's damn right. It's better than you recording, you bitch. It's beautiful.
Thank you. This week we have two films to review, don't we?
Ooh, yes. Yes. Yes.
What are we doing first?
Yeah.
I Tonya. Why is it called I Tonya? I still don't understand why it's called I Tonya. Is it because there's a lot of films with Will Smith and he was in a film called I, Robot?
Because it's like a yeah.
That's why, isn't it?
No, because it's like a biopic and it's like I Tonya. I don't know.
Biopic? Did you say biopic? It's not about robots.
Biopic.
I, Robot. Biopic.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. But you can also say I say biopic.
I don't think it's pronounced biopic.
I can assure you, it's pronounced biopic.
Pretty sure it's a biopic.
And if you're smarter, it's pronounced biopic.
Ooh.
Yeah. I still don't know why it's a comma. It's I Tonya. No.
Or could it be like?
Why don't they call it?
You know when you're in court and you have to say. Oh wait, no.
Should they call it Get Harding or Die Trying?
That's good. That's quick.
Or something to do with scores.
Yeah. No one can
or
see
just
that
call
you're
it
holding
fuck
up a
Or just
placard.
call it.
Call it what?
Fuck off.
Why?
I don't know. Because she's got this kind of
Very strange.
careless attitude. She don't give a shit what you think.
She does.
Harding on ice.
They're getting worse. They're getting worse. I think I Tonya was fine.
I think Get Harding or Die Trying is better.
That is better. That is, yeah.
Alright, anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
That and
Sum it up in one
are
sentence.
we going to finish the sentence you originally started?
What one?
We have two films this week.
Yeah, we won't go to that one yet. That's a mystery.
We're gonna say what it was.
Well, we don't know what it is. It's the title of the bloody episode.
Well,
the
I
big
don't
one.
know what it is, so...
It's the big one. And we'll lose all our American viewers if we have any. I think that's why Shift Forward did so terrible last week, because all the first people in America listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
It's old news to them. It's an old film to them.
Yeah.
Come out in like the 50s, I'm pretty sure. Actually, we only just got it.
She looks really good for her age.
What, Sally Hawkins?
Yeah.
She looks a bit fishy. Hey!
Hey, I mean, because if it came out in the 50s... Never mind.
Yeah,
Never
no,
mind.
I got your joke, but then I thought I'd make a pun,
It
so
just
she looks
wasn't
fishy,
funny.
because...
I know. Anyway, I Tonya, what did you think of it?
Why are you asking me?
I just
You saw it
thought was
first.
Yeah, that's alright.
We watched these in some right old dodgy order,
We did.
based
And
on
we
work
watched them
hours this
separately.
week. Yeah, we watched I Tonya separately. I missed the first 15 minutes. Probably
Ooh.
25 minutes. It was meant to be. I was only meant to miss the first 10 minutes because of trains, but then it was delayed, so I've missed about 25 minutes. Apparently, I missed all our growing up.
You did, yeah.
I missed Young
Such a
Hardy.
shame.
Yeah. And then we also watched Ladybird in two tries as well, didn't we?
Two goes.
Not because we couldn't. We had to leave.
Yeah,
Had
the
other
first
plans
time. We had plans to bowl.
to ball.
To bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do I think of I Tonya? Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but it's really hard to say because I couldn't say, oh, it was brilliant, and I also don't think. But it was really good. It's really hard to say where it landed for me. I don't think it was bad in any way.
I think
it was
missing
good,
the first 20-25 minutes will have made a huge difference.
Yeah, maybe.
I really do.
So thank God I'm reviewing it now.
Yeah, I do. No, I do though, because you missed. Well, yeah.
25 minutes.
You missed all of her growing up. You missed like the main relationship between her and her mother, which
I did
is sort
enjoy
of the
it.
setup for the whole thing.
Yeah.
You missed her meeting Jeff Galooly. You missed them, like their relationship when they were young. You missed them getting married. You missed all of that. So.
Yeah, I didn't know she knew since she was young. I think
Yes.
it's not even like the. I didn't mind the content. I think it was how it was handled. I didn't like in places. Like I don't like the fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
It kind of was like it just and like you said, did it too much. It was like it kind of takes you fourth wall breaking.
No, I didn't say it did it too much. I said that it did one or two places it did it too much when you think of how often it happens throughout the film. It doesn't happen often enough that when, you know, when you were saying about the trainer saying she did this, she actually did this, she did this too, that felt like way too much because they don't use it that much throughout the film that bit didn't feel out of place.
Hopefully she did do all of that stuff because the film's a biopic.
A biopic.
The film is about her life, so hopefully she didn't need to tell us. Like, I felt with that, but she said 3 times, she went, and she did this. It's like,
yeah,
but you
missed.
That's
what I said at the beginning. You missed them saying that it was really like contradictory interviews. So there were bits where they were saying, "Oh, this happened," and then somebody else was saying it didn't happen like that. So they're saying that actually is like a confirmed thing that definitely happened, huh?
How do they know that she did that?
Well, because I assume
that's the confirmation.
I assume that both of them said that happened.
But maybe Jeff said he didn't know that happened.
Huh? He wasn't there.
I know, but then how can they prove that? I'm joking. No, I know, but it just the point I was thinking more the fourth wall breaking takes you out of it.
Yeah.
And same with the interviews. Like I like it was interesting that for the interviews, usually with interviews in a film like this, with a not a documentary, sorry, but a biopic.
Yeah.
They sort of use interviews from real life. And then have the actual film with the actors. But in this, they used actors and they used interviews based on real life interviews, but they used the actors in the recordings and made it look like. So there was like videos, wasn't there? Whereas it was obviously like Margot Robbie and Sebastian Stan, but they made the footage look old, which works better, which is interesting. That works better because you think they're the characters because they've got old videos of them and not actual. Because like I said, once you've seen the actual people playing these, you can this is obviously all acted. But then also that's why I didn't know why they did the fourth wall breaking because that stuff made it feel more legit, whereas in the fourth wall breaking kind of took you out of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The interviews are funny. The one with the guy who's in Master of None, when he says about the guy moving the car around to try and avoid being suspicious, so he keeps reparking the car every 15 minutes. I didn't get where he was in that bit. Where was he waiting there? Were they following the other...
I think that was... Wasn't that when
that was one of the two guys that were
one of the,
hired.
one of the two guys that
were hired to sort of.
Well, they were hired to send her death threat letters,
but then they ended up
kneecap her.
Yeah. But I don't know what he was doing. I didn't understand it. Where were they? They were waiting outside for her, but that wasn't when they kneecapped her. So when?
I'm not sure when that was. I assumed it was when
they were tracking her or something.
Well, yeah, I assumed it was.
Oh, actually, was it before?
Oh no, I know what it was. I know what it was. They said that he was waiting outside the training centre for her, but it was.
Yeah. I was just saying it was right.
Yeah.
But then was that before they kneecapped her then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So then they went to the other place.
Yeah, because otherwise
that's how they found him.
Well, yeah, because they wouldn't have kneecapped her and then carried on looking for her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got funny in it. As if he looked absolutely ridiculous. They didn't show him at the end, so I assume that's what the guy who was talking looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the interviews in the fourth wall?
Yeah, I never really like it when they break the fourth wall like that. To be honest, I don't enjoy it, and it made it feel almost like a bit trivial. It didn't feel as dark and as awful as it should have. When you start going,
it was definitely a black comedy with stuff in this.
It was horrible. That's the thing. It was like when you think back, every time he hit her in the face, I was like, Jesus Christ, it was horrible. But it kind of like was made a bit like lighter by breaking the fourth wall, which I'm not sure it should have.
I think it felt, but I think it's because they were all so psychotic and absolute. Like obviously, Tonya Harding, this wasn't made out to be as sort of psychotic as the others, but they were all made out to be absolute nutters. It took me a while to realise she was really chubby at the end when she was talking, and then like when she was in the denim, I was like, I thought her neck just looked funny there. I didn't realise she'd actually put on loads of weight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, they did that really well actually.
Yeah, I think that's why they kind of made it jokey, because it's all ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous story. If this is all what happened, it's such an insane, especially with the stuff with like.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that was the thing, is that it happened sort of when I was really, really tiny, so I don't remember it, and you weren't even born, so. So it was interesting to learn about, because I've heard all those names a lot of times, and I knew that Tonya Harding was a figure skater, and I knew that Nancy Kerrigan was a was a figure skater, but I didn't know anything else. It was really interesting to learn because it was a huge thing at the time. They were said, well, they said that him and, was it a president, was like the most 2 known men in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So she was, didn't she say she was? Oh no, was it him that was second known? Or, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then it kind of died off. He said as soon as he came out of prison, it died off, and everyone left because they weren't interested anymore.
I think it's
I've only heard
really,
of Tonya
really,
Harding. I haven't heard of anyone else.
Yeah. I think it's a really, really sad film. Actually, I've got a bit. Yeah, like I said
at the
to you,
end,
I
you
got a
said
bit
she
choked.
caught.
Yeah, I got a bit choked up when she was saying that she would rather go to prison. She felt like it was more of a life sentence to not be able to skate anymore. It was really sad. And she's so talented as well. I mean,
she got so much punishment. I was like, why is she? She's got more than anyone else. Like,
well, I mean, she didn't go to prison. The rest went to prison, but.
Oh, good point. They went to prison, but then she got given.
But she got
lot.
like $100,000 fine and another $50,000 fine, and I think being banned from and like she said, she didn't have an education or anything because her parents took her out of school when she was really little. You didn't see that bit, did you?
No.
I think it was when she was about 15 they took her out of school so she could focus just on skating. So she didn't have an education. She didn't have any exams or anything.
She said she didn't have an education. Yeah, but I didn't know if she put her.
Yeah, they took her out because they thought it was better that she. And her dad. Oh, you didn't see her dad leave or anything. Yeah.
Didn't see her dad once.
Yeah, it's a shame. You should try and catch the first 20 minutes if you can, because I think it really does make a difference to the overall sort of arc and feel of the film.
Yeah.
But I do think it was good. I thought they were some really, really good performances too.
She was up. So Margot Robbie was up for Best Actress for this, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because from what I saw, she was good in it, but she wasn't as erratic as anyone else in it for me. She was quite. She was at the pitch quite. Sebastian Stan was on it a lot more of the stuff I saw. He was more of the front sort of. She was in it a lot more because if you took her routines out of it, I don't think she would have felt like she was in it as much as anyone, especially wouldn't have felt like her mother was very good. The one playing her mother. Yeah,
she wasn't in it for quite a bit, but
yeah, she kind of went out until she came back to the house and then was trying to record her to fucking shit. Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, it's nice though because obviously it's kind of is a sports film, but it does not end the way you. Well, if you know the story, then it obviously does. But it kind of, I was so glad I didn't do anything that I was expecting to do. Like it wasn't, oh, she won at the end, or she come close to, and
no,
it didn't feel like it was sort of dramatic. Yeah, it's kind of what happened.
We were saying as well, they made her look a lot rougher, I think.
Yeah, when it showed her at the end, actual Tonya Harding. Yeah, Margot Robbie looked a lot rougher.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that.
Maybe it's just trying to make her look like Tonya Harding. That's how it ended up.
Yeah.
But then I see.
I feel like they made her look deliberately quite terrifying at times.
Well, the bit at the end when she's crying, she's got like black lipstick on, and it looks terrifying. The rest of that, she didn't look terrifying other than that bit. Really, she just kind of looked. I think it's because they did the fringe, and then they made her eyebrows lighter, didn't they? They changed her eyebrows. I think they maybe just made her look that way.
Yeah.
I wonder why they picked Margot Robbie. Interesting. Unless she just got the role. It was because they saw her on Suicide Squad when she looked quite crazy.
I'm kidding.
Won the role. Let's say about the ending. I like the ending with the boxing.
Crazy.
It's just funny how it was done. I was like, she's now a boxer. Yeah. It was very amazing how they did that bit. That's what I mean. I think because I watched this more as a film instead of like an understanding of what happened, it felt quite funny the way it went because I didn't know it went that way. I had no idea where it was going.
No, I didn't know she was a boxer after. No.
It's just pretty funny.
Kind of hard to it was easy to forget that actually it happened because it was so bizarre. Like, you can't believe that would happen to someone.
No. It's crazy.
It's good though.
I enjoyed it. Have you got anything else to say?
I don't think so.
No, I think as well I like the fact there wasn't any room for redemption for anyone. Her mum, you thought, well, there might be like a redeeming bit, but then it wasn't. She was being a twat still.
They still hate each other now.
They said they haven't spoken for years at the end.
They still don't. That's from what I just read.
It's fucking terrible, honestly.
Yeah, awful. He wasn't much better.
Huh? What, her husband? No, he was definitely... Well, actually, no, they both assaulted her.
They were both just as bad, yeah.
One for enough, and the other one just constantly hit her. Yeah. Her relationship with him is so crazy in this film.
I know.
I think because it skips over that quite a lot, you don't really... I imagine it feels believable that they keep going back to each other, but it's so strange that they just keep going back.
I know.
And then she said, I went back for a few weeks, he started hitting me again. And then...
I think people do that though, don't they? It does happen.
I thought that for a bit they were trying to make a point of she was better at skating when she was with him, but I don't know why. When she was having a shit time, she was better at skating. Because when he came and went, no, fuck you, and then left the arena, she went to shit then, didn't she?
Mm.
But then he also said she went to shit because she started smoking and... Because she kept saying about her skate was off, but it wasn't. It was because... She said, oh, my skate was loose, it wasn't really my fault, but then I think she was lying. It was more the fact that she...
kept saying, it's not my fault. I mean, that wasn't my fault. I mean, that wasn't really my fault. I mean, it was my fault, but it wasn't really my fault.
But, like, she said her skate was off, and that's why she couldn't land it, but I don't think it was. I think it's because she put on weight and because she was smoking and stuff.
Yeah,
she was more...
and they, like, showed a bit, didn't they, of her, like, on the weighing scales, and she looked really fed up and stuff, so I think... Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend going to watch this if you got the time to. I don't think this is a film that you should desperately go see. It's not.
Oh, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's very, very good.
Interesting.
I do think it's harder to
Would
say...
you watch again?
Yes, definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think you would if you saw the start. I know I keep going on about the start, but it really does.
Yeah.
I think it really would make a difference. It's quite a lot to miss, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes maybe, but 25 minutes is a good chunk.
Not if you're watching 50 Shades. Hey.
Also...
Not that I know.
What's her mum's name in real life?
Don't know.
I've literally been saying it all week.
The last few
all week, and now it's gone out of my mind, but her mother's
go up
very,
in the
very,
burret.
very wonderful too.
Alright, on to the bigger and the better.
Ladybird.
Would you disagree?
They're different. They're really different.
Good answer.
Yeah.
You just worried that they're all going to listen to this podcast now.
Oh yeah, I think they were the two that listened last.
Yeah, I'll go Robin. That's your own.
Yeah.
Does you go to where we go now? To Ladybird.
Do you want to score, I Tonya?
Do you?
Oh, just interesting.
Do you?
Yeah, I want to hear your score.
You just want to hear what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 7.6.
That's pretty low. I'm going to go 8.6.
But then that first bit could lift it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
think it will. You need to watch it.
Again, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a film where I went, like Shape of Water. It didn't have any kind of...
You need to watch the first bit, I think, before you can comment. I think this was a mistake. We should never have reviewed it. Okay,
we're saying this off. This is going to segue into Lady Bird from this.
Yeah.
After watching Lady Bird as well, now we've watched a lot of the Oscar films, or the biggest award winners.
Mm-hmm.
Three Billboards stands above the above the rest. Massively.
Yeah.
Like
hugely.
It's
totally agree.
I enjoyed Shape of Water last week. I enjoyed Lady Bird this week. I enjoyed Get Out way earlier in this year. I actually think that I preferred Get Out to Shape of Water and Lady Bird. I think I found that because it was
like more intriguing. I was more hooked into it.
Yeah.
And actually, just sometimes I think it's just to go sheer entertainment value. What did I like more? What was I like? Oh, that was really good. I want to watch that again. And actually, Get Out was If I'm honest, it feels like you shouldn't say that because the other films seem more like they should be more critically acclaimed. But actually, I just really enjoyed Get Out.
It's the thing with Oscar films; they're all kind of just go along films, aren't they? They just sort of go. This is the thing of Three Billboards. It's so suspenseful, it has so many crazy moments, but the characters still feel amazing. It has no negative points really in my mind. Apparently it's had backlash, and I want to read why. I think it's to do with the fact that it like confronts heavy subjects, but it's like, but it never sort of. I don't know how it could offend people. It doesn't take the mick out of anything. It sort of it laughs at people who are racist, and then like a way it says it's wrong for doing it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It doesn't take the mick. I was like, if it's to do with the cancer stuff, it doesn't take the mick out of cancer at all. It's harsh what like is said, but it's not about the cancer. It doesn't.
No.
I don't know how. I don't know what the backlash is for.
Oh, strange. Who has said this stuff?
I saw an article online. I didn't read it because I was at work and I saw it, and it said about the director has responded to backlash for the film.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know what it is. You're looking at right now.
Have a little
talking.
look.
Go for it. I'll talk about Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with last week. I really enjoyed Lady Bird. Again, I think it is really good, and I think the hat has to come off for the fact that this film is spot on with dialogue. It does not. It doesn't feel like it's acted. I think that's the most amazing thing about this film, or the most outstanding thing, and why it's done so well.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how spot on the conversations are. They feel like real conversations because they just veer off, or they just suddenly change, or they're just about nothing, or they have no importance.
Yeah.
It makes it feel so different.
Yeah.
But it's...
I love the way they sort of just all talk over each other as well. It's not like a...
Yeah.
You say yours. Okay, now you say your line. Now you say...
There's no like moments of like tensity or like trying to be like, oh, now they're going to say this badass line, or they're going to say this... Like, there was no end game to their conversations.
No.
And some of the conversations were just so weird.
And each scene, like, I really love how they sort of overlaid a lot of the scenes. Like when she was, when they were counting down for, really stuck out to me. That the bit where they're counting down to New Year and they're doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's when she's running into the post office. She's obviously like got not much time to post that. Do you know what bit I mean? Yeah. Yeah, when she's running, I love how they overlaid a lot of the scenes, and how some scenes didn't feel like they even sort of came to an end. They just sort of went into the next one, and that was fine.
Because it was a few years, wasn't it? It covered like... Wasn't she? How old was she at the start? Was she 15 or 16 at the start? Because she ended up being over 18, didn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe 19. It felt a little like Boyhood to me.
When did she say
she was definitely 16. I don't know if she was ever as young as 15 in it.
Really?
But she was in school, wasn't she? And then she says 16 at one point. They say about being 16 at one point.
Oh, I don't remember.
And then she goes up to being 18.
Oh, I thought she was only like 17 because she starts applying for colleges like pretty much straight at the start.
Maybe 17 then.
Yeah, I think it's only a year.
16.
I don't think it's over time.
Oh, maybe it is only
Pretty sure it's only 1 year, yeah.
But doesn't she? Oh no, maybe it is only over 1 year. It's still, it jumps through the year quite a lot. Because you go Christmas, then the next minute is, like you said, it's like a montage of it, and it's kind of New Year, and she's applying for, I think it's over the course of time though. What I mean is it jumps quite a lot.
Yeah.
And shows because she looks a bit older through it, and it sort of changes, not massively, but it's a start to the...
I'm just looking, at this 3 billboards stuff, and I can't actually see. This is the
type in 3 billboards backlash.
I have, and literally all the articles are so. It's like every article is about 1,000 words, and it's not like clearly marked what section is what. Blah blah blah. Yet 3 billboards finds itself facing its own reckoning with a backlash as fierce as you could chalk it up to the usual polarization of the Oscar race, wherein the. I don't really understand.
God knows
that. Movie hit a nerve. Oh, come on. What's wrong with it?
I was going to say about some moments, we were saying about the authenticity of Lady Bird. That Christmas morning, makes me laugh because it's hilarious how you've got your son and daughter sat in their pyjamas with your son's girlfriend. She's also sort of in the pyjamas, and then sort of it just looks really funny because that's exactly what Christmas mornings are like.
Yeah.
What's fine, like you're just sort of sat there together, and it's so well how they see yourself in the face of it.
Yes.
Every week when it's that golden pole on here ourselves. The way they all sat around on Christmas runners in their pyjamas, and the way it's sort of like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels so authentic. I don't know how Christmas is in America, but that's how it.
Yeah. And how they were all kind of like sat in a line, like around the tree. Yeah. It was like, And
then obviously, like I said, they had the girlfriend. I mean, she lives with them, but their son's girlfriend was sat there with them like that, and kind of. I don't know. It's just the way it's dealt with. She's so spot on with the whole like relationship to someone in the family, but it's that sort of awkward. But it's so weird. It's just.
Is that what Christmas feels like at my house? Is that what you mean?
No.
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 Oh God.
So that's, and it's her dad.
Yeah.
But it's not. So was she married because she obviously had kids before. That wasn't her son with him, surely.
Oh, what?
The son, Lady Bird's brother, wasn't his.
No, I assume he was adopted.
Adopted, you reckon?
I reckon.
They don't address it, do they?
No.
Which they don't need to, obviously, but I was just like, I assume, they seem like they're a couple that have been here a long time, Lady Bird's parents, but obviously their son is also Asian, and neither of the parents aren't Asian, so Could have just been adopted. They don't address it, interestingly.
No, they don't.
But then, like I said, they don't need to, which is interesting. But
that is so funny when she's like, I'm sure they had no idea, Miguel.
That bit, I want to watch with subtitles on this bit because it's so fast. Well, I know what she says about that. It says about him getting into this. But didn't he get into the school, didn't they say?
I think, he's saying that he got into a really good college because obviously there's this whole thing that people, they pick out some people from certain races for,
Yeah.
And then, that's good, that bit. Sorry, but I have just sort of weeded through it, and it says, whether it be through malice or ignorance, McDonough's attempts to script the black experience in America are often fumbling and backward and full of outdated tropes. So I think they're saying that the way she writes about how black people are treated, but aren't they quite far?
3 billboards.
Yeah, aren't
they? Go into it massively.
No.
It's just about Sam Rockwell's character being an idiot.
Yeah, about him being racist, and then obviously they have that new station chief, and there's a little bit with him, but not masses. So
it's fictional anyway. For fuck's sake, like
yeah.
It's just trying to find a meal. It's trying to make a meal out of something just because the film is brilliant. They just kind of want
to. Yeah, it looks like that's what it was anyway. But I mean,
what's the bet? Ladybird will have some backlash about Catholic schools or some shit as well.
Well, yeah, probably. Oh, it says essentially critics are saying it's hypocritical. It's a biopic. It's hypocritical for a film that has been propelled to the front of the Oscar race because of its pertinence to one movement, #MeToo, to be completely indifferent to another movement, #Black Lives Matter. It all sounds very political because award season inevitably is political. I think they're saying that it's stupid that it's been like picked out and everyone's saying, oh yeah, it's a great female-led film when the script like talks wrongly about like the black experience in America.
Why does it talk wrongly about it?
Well, because I think it's saying that that's not how it is. I don't know. That's what it says here anyway.
When Ellie,
I don't know.
But it doesn't claim that's how it is. It's a film and it uses its own topics.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
It's greatly female-led, not because she's a badass, but because she's she's a strong-willed character. Because she's
not even a good person, so I don't really understand that. I don't understand that at all.
It's just a well-created character who is also female.
Yeah.
That's why it's a good female character.
Very strange. I don't know.
Bloody hell. We'll get on to female-led stuff this episode, actually, a little bit. Not massively, just interesting something about some news about it. And since we're talking about I, Tonya and Lady Bird 2 Oscar nominated, well, both of them leading ladies.
You said Lady Bird 2. I was like, what?
Lady Bird 2!
I missed the first one. I think, just saying about how good that like little bit is in Lady Bird. I think there's so many moments like that you're just like, oh, that's
I've written a few.
Huh?
I've written a few.
Oh, have you? Go on.
Yeah. Do you want to add some as well? Because I couldn't think of some. I bet you
can
remember some. I said about Christmas morning. I said about, because we've watched this bit twice, the bit where she's opening college letters. I like the camera then shows the letter, but it focuses on regret to inform.
Yeah, just the 2 or 3 words that you actually need.
And because they're the ones you also, because when you open a letter, they're the ones you fixate on. Yeah, it's just regret. You look through, you quickly like sort of skim over and see those words, which is just pretty funny because that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
The school talk about abortions made me laugh because it's that kind of depressing. I never had an abortion talk, funny enough.
Yeah.
But I remember the time when we had one at Butlins. I think I told you we had to go to Butlins for a talk, which is always fun. When we were in secondary school.
Yeah.
Or was it college? No, it was college, I think, sorry. When we were in college, we had to go to Butlins for a school talk.
What about?
About car safety.
Oh, right.
And it was really horrible. It was horrible. And we had to go to Butlins for it. So now Butlins is my place where I went.
Well.
So what a place to go. In the stinky bar bit of Butlins.
Oh.
And it was all about like people come up and obviously spoke about their experiences with like losing people and cars, and it was horrible.
Oh my God.
It was just about car safety and like how do we, because it was obviously the age we could start driving.
Yeah.
It's like it reminded me of that, just the whole like.
Oh my goodness.
People kind of just like this really dark. I mean, it wasn't as dark this chat, but it reminds me of other school talks. The way they were talking about it. It's not much like, and that baby was me.
Yeah. I think that's done really well. I think the characters in this are so good. I was going to say about the characters as well, all being so well rounded and so different from each other. Like it doesn't feel like they're all written by the same person, like in a really good way. just that it was totally believable. But yeah, other moments I don't know now. I wish that I'd known we were going to be doing moments, because then I would.
Oh, was I just written down? Another one I just thought of, when her best friend is crying. What's her best friend called again?
Oh, that's lovely, that bit. Julie.
I think it is Julie. Or is Julie the other girl? Julie's one of them. I don't know if that's the
I can't remember her name.
popular girl. The other one.
Terrible.
Anyways, when her best friend, her actual best friend, not her new popular best friend, when she's crying, and she just says, "Some people just made happy," and then she starts crying. I was like, well, she say aren't made. I thought she said some people are made happy because she goes to say something else, but then starts crying. Or just aren't made happy.
Yeah.
That was really spot on. One, because she's just crying there, because obviously she's quite sad, but then also she just sort of goes to start explaining and then starts crying, and it's like, it's probably how people are after they start like crying midway through. They don't like sort of start crying. It's kind of Also, it's like, I thought that so that her best friend's house was sort of worse off than she was. It's interesting to see that, because there's the whole thing about the amount of money they have, and that's what
they had quite a small flat, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was a very small flat, because it was obviously that little kitchen and then the living room bit, and it was it was in like a set of flats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it all felt really. Some of the experiences I've never had. Obviously, they're quite dramatic experiences to have.
That was one bit when the guy that she was seeing came round the back, and he was saying, "Can I just like have a little bit more time, because it's gonna, I know it's gonna be awful, and I just like need like before I tell my mum." He is so good at that bit. I think that is such a lovely and really sad moment. Oh God, as well. And we didn't watch the bit before where her mum doesn't say goodbye to her properly, and then like tries to rush back to like give her a hug before she gets on the plane, and then doesn't. Oh, that destroyed me.
Yeah, when she comes back around, but I didn't know if she came around to give her a hug, or she came back around just because she'll be done. She wanted to hug her husband.
No, I think she was trying to get back. She looked totally like, oh shit, like what a stupid thing to do. And then because then she was like, oh, there it is, and she was really trying to rush.
Why did they do it behind him? Why did she do it behind her mum's back? Did her mum not want her to go?
Well, her mum wanted her to stay close, didn't she?
University.
Yeah. She didn't want her to leave and like go to a different place. Another bit though, there was not sad, absolutely hilarious when the coach was covering for the drama teacher, and he's like, "And then you're coming hot.
Do you know you're coming hot." He reminds me of the guy from of 21 Jump Street, the coach in 21 Jump Street. You'd reckon I'm going to get a picture of him because you'll know exactly what actor I'm talking about.
But it's so good. He's like, you come in singing. The thick line is singing. And he's not singing yet. He's all alone down. It's such a simple sort of
gym teacher, I said gym teacher versus PE teachers always just like showing that, and they are kind of always like they're always wearing shorts, and they're always even when they're not teaching.
Yeah, always.
It's, to be fair, it's spot on, but
so funny. You're coming hot.
Oh, that's not
it reminds me of something.
That's embarrassing.
I can't remember what it is. What?
I haven't typed in 21 Jump Street cast. I typed in 21 Hump Street cast.
Oh.
And the first thing that came up was 21 Hump Street video. 22. I was like, video.
Oh God! Don't play
it. Where is he? Rob Riggle, that guy, when he was shouting.
Yes.
You're going hard because so.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, it's funny. Gym teacher's funny.
I love the play that they did as well. It's just so spot on where they're all in like different coloured t-shirts, and everyone in the audience is like, oh my God, kill me now. The auditions. Oh my God, her audition. Oh, honestly.
What is she singing?
It's called Everybody Says Don't, and it's from Everyone Can Whistle, Everybody Can Whistle. I can't remember, but oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah, I haven't watched the film for a little while actually, and it's really made me giggle. Like I wasn't even like ha ha ha. It just really kept sort of like hitting me hard. That thing where like, you know when you watch observational comedy, like a stand-up, and you go, oh my God, that's so true. I totally do that. Yeah, this made me do that a lot.
She's clearly Greta Gerwig's clearly done this on experience herself. What I was trying to say about some of these experiences being quite dramatic experience to have when you're younger. Her boyfriend ends up to be gay, turns out to be gay, which is quite a. I don't think that's common. I don't think that's a massively common thing when you're growing up.
No.
I imagine it does happen to some people. Because that bit when she finds him in the changing room was like, what, the in the toilet. I noticed that's the only thing, like, she went into the toilet. She said, "There's never a queue in here," and there was all open doors, and there was a few shots. And typically, she went in the cubicle where he was.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. But yeah,
it's true.
But no, I can't fault it for that because it's spot on with everything else.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can tell. But then I'll say about this: there is that one kid in every film.
Yeah.
His second boyfriend, Kyle. It's amazing. It's the funniest thing. But why? Unless it's just in America, like you say, because in America, I think getting stoned in your teen years. I mean, we're both pretty nerdy in our school.
I don't think.
And I don't think we had quite popular experiences.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to say. I think if you're in a popular crowd, then it is. But I don't know. I was more like acting out Disney films.
I was more playing video games every night. Yeah, he's so funny in it. The kid that plays Carl, he's so douchey. But every film like high school has that kid, and I was like, where do these kids exist? Is it in America that's always that kid?
A lot more well written though than others.
Especially when they're together, when he's like around his house and stuff, and like he's like, yeah.
When he's like, no, I didn't. No, I wouldn't have said that. No, I wouldn't have lied. I haven't lied in 2 years.
He goes, I haven't lied in 2 years.
Yeah. And I love it when she's like, hey Kyle, we just decorated the number bill, just married to Jesus, and he's like, that's hella tight. I like you, very baller. Very, what is it he says?
He's very anarchist.
Anarchist, yeah. Oh, he's so good. And when he corrects her and she says something about his band in French, but she doesn't put on the French accent, and then he...
I thought it was French at the start. I thought it was French.
Yeah, and when he's like, "Oh, I don't want to participate in the country's economy. I don't like money." And she's like, "Does a Catholic school go?"
So as well when she starts getting pissed off after she thinks he's just lost his virginity, she gets pissed off and he's you're choosing to get angry.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm fucking angry. He's like, no, but you're angry because you're choosing to be. Like, I do buy.
Yeah, that's a really good line as well when she says when he's like, how many people have we killed since the occupation, and she's like, other like different things can be sad, it's not all war. I was like, that's such a good line, because there's always those people that go, well, people are dying in Africa, so yes, I know, but and that is terrible. But I'm talking about this particular thing. Yeah, there's always that person.
I haven't picked up that line. I thought when she says it.
Yeah, that's so good.
She says as well after that fight. She says to him, she's like, "Are we still going to prom together?" She does it quite a few times in the film. She says to her like popular friend that she lies to. She goes, "We still friends." Yeah, which is pretty spot on, to be fair.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done that in person, but I've definitely done it over. She's like, "Is this?" Are we still friends?
Yeah.
Where are we here?
Oh, that's really sad. Not you.
It's really sad. You're pathetic.
You are pathetic. No. Oh, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, which we said about it after we watched it the first time when he's like, oh, I'm kidding. She's like, you better be or I'm going to murder your family.
Oh, God. So that's happened to me. Not with, like, someone saying, oh, my dad has cancer, but, like, it's happened where you've said or something like that and they've gone,
oh yeah, actually.
Someone did to me as a joke before. I said something about my mum's dead, and I was like,
"Oh my god, that is the worst joke."
People always do it. We always go.
God.
It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. Her family, not just her friend, her popular friend.
Yeah.
Is funny because she's kind of. It's really hard to explain. She looks exactly like the kind of popular girl in school.
Yeah, she does. I thought that she's so well cast. I'm not sure how good of an actress she is. I was thinking that yesterday. I'm not sure how good of an actress she is, but it kind of doesn't matter because I totally believe that she. Yeah.
She seems like an idiot in it.
Yeah. And when she was like, that lady at the other house was so freaked out when she knocked on the door. Oh, that bit made me want to curl up and die.
I didn't realise.
Ding dong and outside.
When she said how she lived in, I didn't remember she said it was that big blue house the first time. Because again, because it's so quick. I'm terrible with American accents, which is surprising because we watch so many American films. But
but we watch them with subtitles, so I think you've got too used to the subtitles.
But I think anyone, if you put subtitles on, you'll be surprised how much people like you'd miss in a film. Because as soon as you put subtitles on, you're like, oh shit. But that's funny. It's funny. I think I'd laugh more if I watched it at home with you than I would in the cinema. Because in the cinema we had the one guy going, the weirdest parts.
Yeah, bits that were actually just really sad, and he was laughing. It's like, what are you laughing at?
That happened before. I can't remember what, when someone laughed at a really dumb bit. I'm like, Jesus.
It's alive.
Not a fun film to watch next to an old lady.
No.
You were okay. You got beside my hand with the lady, literally so close that she had my armrest and I couldn't use it while watching a sex scene with her right next to me. And it's not just a sex scene; it's a very awkward sex scine.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun. And she was giggling a bit of it, which made it funnier.
It was funny though. He was like, "Are you done?" Mm-hmm. Yes. It was done so well though. It was done really, really well. Oh, they are funny.
Same like the kid in it. Her family as well are great in it.
Oh.
Her brother and his girlfriend are spot on.
And the dad was just so gorgeous and so and just.
But it's interesting, isn't it, what they were saying about him, because they said about how like he has depression and how like misery is, but then they're also making a point that the mum seems mean, but because she's trying to deal with more of the issues, and he sort of comes in and sort of be the good dad, but like doesn't deal with the everyday stuff.
I absolutely love that you never saw him depressed. You never saw him like really down or anything. There was just hints of it, and obviously I know she said that he's been suffering with it for years, but there was never a point where you saw him like.
I think it's just his
really
personality as a whole. Yeah, I wonder if he ever had low points, or if he just kind of was, like
really nicely. And like you can imagine that he probably does have sort of major breakdowns, like with the mum around, but never.
Yeah. Maybe talk to her because she's a psychotherapist, whatever you call it.
Well, she says she works at a psych hospital, so I don't know.
And she talks to one of the fathers that works at
the. I love stuff like that. You never really found out it never went anywhere. Like the same with her friend having the crush on the teacher. Like it never went anywhere. They're just things that happen.
That was weird.
Yeah, but it's not weird though, because
I know that's not weird. The way he spoke to her, and then some people do have favourites in their classes, and it's like, but he was a bit much with her.
Yeah.
It's like. This is just friendly. It was quite strange. No, I think it's because they did it with every character. There was bits it could have gone, but it didn't.
Yeah, but I love that because it just
building background.
I know it was Chris Stuckman, wasn't it? And when he watched it, because obviously he got it a long time ago, but he said it was so nice because it felt just like you were kind of watching a moment in time, and that they have lived before and will carry on like going after, and you don't feel like it was a movie. It kind of just felt like it was a snippet out of someone's.
Yeah.
Like a particularly rocky year in someone's life.
Yeah, because there was like stories for all of them to follow. That was her best friend thing, was the whole thing with the teacher, and it was a bit odd in my eyes anyway, the way he was talking to her. There was stuff of all of them. The stuff of like her brother and his girlfriend, the way she didn't feel very accepted in the family, and stuff of obviously her dad and depression. None of them went anywhere. They were just sort of. It's just background for the characters.
And it was nice as well because there was things like like you say with the brother's girlfriend and stuff. But she like. Typically in films she would have been like quite a nasty character that was kind of like trying to backstab her or trying to like show her up and be like the mum's favourite, but she wasn't. She was actually just a nice person, which I really loved.
She was quite quiet and obviously insecure.
What was the other thing I was going to say? There was something else I was going to say. I love that didn't turn out typically the way that obviously she was at this Catholic school and she wasn't really that into it and she didn't want to be there and stuff, but actually it turned out she did really love like where she came from, and I love that she went into the church when she was in New York and
nostalgic,
and it made her feel and she actually kind of didn't really hate it anymore, but it wasn't so much that she hated it, that she.
Her family weren't Catholic. Well, it didn't say anything.
No, I don't think they were.
Just said she went to a Catholic school because her brother saw someone get stabbed. I think Lady Bird said she wanted to go to the Catholic school because of that. Because she said you had to go to a Catholic school because your brother saw someone stabbed in front of him in the public school. I'm pretty sure she said that Lady Bird made the choice to do that.
Oh, I thought she said you had to go there because.
Oh, I thought she said you chose to. I don't remember. Either way, she went to the Catholic school, not because they were saying about the Catholic school, because their brother went to the public school and they said yes.
Sacramento looks beautiful, by the way. It was really nice to see somewhere new because you always see New York, you always see like LA, you always see.
Yeah, I was going to say about the setting as well. I was just going to say about Dad first. He said about his dad and depression. I love like the way he sat on the computer playing the thingy, forgotten the name of it. She's like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like that kind of like jokey film where they go nothing. It just kind of was like nothing. And then obviously he sat there and doesn't say anything when they're arguing, which feels like it's one of the way it's just sort of like. And then the way it all feels incredibly realistic. All the conversations, not because I've gone through all those experiences, but just because they felt real and like what you've seen in life before and how they're dealt with.
Saoirse Ronan is really good in it as well. I do think she's amazing, but I think the mum is an absolute like standout. She's just so good.
She sounds like Holly Hunter. She sounds like.
Like quite like thick, like in the back of your mouth, kind of. Or...
Yeah. Which is interesting.
She's wonderful in this. I really loved her in this.
This is about going to do their favourite Sunday activity. That's interesting because that was the one moment when you kind of saw this thing where she said she kind of did like her because she went and did that with her. But yeah, their relationship's interesting. And again,
it's just complicated, and it doesn't ever really get fully explained how they completely feel about each other. I know she said thank you, and she says that she loves her and stuff, and the mum that says that she loves her, but relationships aren't straightforward like
is
that.
It that she says her mum was a drunk and an abusive alcoholic? It is, isn't it? Because we watched I Tonya, I was like, there's so many bad mums in films. I was like, is that? It was this, yeah. I think it's just the whole idea of being scared, so she's reluctant to sort of
absolutely,
have a relationship with her own daughter a bit.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. I think that's what makes this really good. But still, I'll stand next to Free Billboard and say that's been the best of the Oscars that we've watched so far.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's better, but I did really love it. And actually, the more we talk about it, the more I realise how amazing it was.
Yeah. As I said, the setting. First, I like that it was set in the early 2000s because I honestly keep thinking to myself, there are never films, if they have to be set in the past, they're only ever set before the 2000s because people don't ever bother to go into the 2000s. Because it feels like an
era more then, doesn't it? When you do like 70s or 80s or kind of 90s now, I think maybe feels a bit more separate.
Yeah.
But no, you're totally right. I was going to say, I've written that in my notes. I wonder why they chose to set it in like 15 years ago. It's just a strange. Because it could have been set whenever.
Maybe it's just to do with. I mean, it depends who was growing up in the 2000s.
Yeah, and I wondered. Well, I guess maybe it's a time that she knows. Yeah, pretty well.
I don't know how old she is.
She only looks like, I would say, like late 30s maybe. I've only seen one picture of her, and it was like a tiny picture. But what was I going to say?
It's just nice. You could just. I mean, there's not really a reason to do it. It's just nice to do it because obviously, because then we always forget that the early 2000s were a time where life did keep going because it's never set in film.
I wonder as well if it's because it was before, like, well, I know he makes the thing about like, oh, soon everyone's going to have mobile phones and stuff. I wonder if it is because it was before, like, all that major technology sort of hit.
Yeah.
And obviously we had like the internet and everything by then, but we didn't have smartphones. Like, everyone has a smartphone now. It wasn't that kind of time. Maybe that was why as well. I don't know. Or it is just a time that she knows particularly well because of the age that she was then. I can't keep talking. I've got to talk too.
Keep talking! I just got distracted because it says TV shows How I Met Your Dad.
What?
And I don't know what.
Just look up her age.
I was, but then it came up. I typed in.
Got sidetracked. I'll do it.
That's interesting. 34.
Yeah.
So it would have been after her.
Late 30s. My bad.
Yeah, so it would have been.
Oh, she's.
So I don't know why they picked that.
Almost the exact same age as my sister. She's August 1983. As is my sis.
Wow. There you are.
Very, very good. Very good. Very funny.
Yeah, same with the setting still, sorry, yeah. Early 2000s, Sacramento, you said it looks beautiful. I think it just feels like a place which is nice. It doesn't feel like, they haven't tried to make it feel shitty, they haven't tried to make it feel like beautiful, they've just made it.
I don't know, I feel like they did kind of make it look pretty beautiful at the end there.
At the end when she was driving through, but they're making a point of that, they were saying like, the first time you drove through, did you...
Yeah.
Attention everybody!
Scared me so much.
But it feels pretty dull and grey through the film until she's about driving through at the end, which then see it at sunset and it kind of looks pretty.
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? But they're not like trying to focus on the setting and make it a thing. It's just the setting.
It felt nice. It felt like homely and it felt small and sort of towny, which was nice. Yeah.
That's kind of maybe what it was going, but it felt real, is what I mean.
Yeah.
But also the costume design felt dull, which made it feel right because the stuff in school felt boring and horrible, and that kind of felt right. I love
their uniforms as well. They were just like really
hella tight. They were hella tight. Yeah.
This film was hella tight. I'm excited for more from Greta.
Anything else to say for it? You got
that really close to the mic then. If you break it,
I'll break you.
Break your arm.
Right. Anything else to say?
No.
No? What do you want to give it out of 10?
10? No, 8.9.
I was going to say 8.9. We'll go with 8.9 still.
High five! At 8.9. 8.9.
It ended in a really interesting place as well, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
that was a very spot-on experience. She went to Union straight away. She got pissed and had to go to hospital.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
happened
why
to a
I
lot
did
of people.
my first night of Union. Not really.
I just
Not
played
for
chess
real.
by myself. I'm joking. Really.
By yourself.
Yeah, by myself.
I'm
Carrying on from this,
Mhm.
since we've done two, like I said, Oscar nominated films with
Yeah.
2 Oscar nominated actresses in the lead, we thought we could talk about female-led films in the last year, because it's getting more and more of a topic, especially with the, what was it called? The
Hashtag me too.
I thought no, the dress, the black dress, whatever film was called. Was that what it was? Hashtag me too. Oh, okay. With that. Pretty worth talking about a little bit, especially on the start of this year. Also because I just found out. So last year, the 3 highest grossing films were all female led, which were Beauty and the Beast, Wonder Woman, and The Last Jedi. Which is interesting, which is a good thing, because, well, for all good purposes, it's a good thing because you got more female led films, especially in the public eye, because these are the biggest films, which is good. Interestingly though, these were all to me quite shaky performances.
What?
I'll comment. Well, Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson, pretty naff. It's good that they're in there, and again, these are the films. These 3 films especially will be the ones kids will see and not think they're shaky performances and will love. So that is good for that, because there will be obviously more costumes for these. You'll see they're more inspirational characters for children, which is good, and younger ages.
Yeah.
But all the performances to me were pretty naff. Anyway, going on from that, still good that they're all highest grossing films and they're female led. Apparently last year it actually dropped in female led films from 29% to 24%, so 5% decrease in female led films, which isn't good.
It's not good, and it kind of is almost worse in a way, because it's meant to be this whole movement forward, and it's sort of in the media making it look like we've made like this huge leap and there's a big difference being made, like with Wonder Woman and stuff. And actually it's
I don't know what the movement's pushing for. Like, what change is it pushing for, really, is what I'm...
What?
To get more women in film, but what
hashtag
action...
me too?
Well, no, the saying about the percent,
Because
like releasing the percentage, I mean.
Oh right, okay.
Showing
Well,
it's been going down, proving that it isn't
I don't know.
improving.
Me Too is not just film though, is it? That's
No.
All women in across all industries.
No,
so
no,
that's
no.
a bit different, but
I meant more in film, like releasing this percentage is an interesting thing, because it's trying to say, look, there isn't progression. But I don't know what the improvement is, because it's not going to make people go, okay, I want to be in film now. If people want to be in film, they want to be in film.
yeah, but I think people want to be in film, but the roles aren't being written for them, I think is the point.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway, I was just going to say about the start of this year. Tell me already, it feels like there's... I mean, for England anyway, because these are films we got this year. 3 Billboards obviously was female-led. You had... So the biggest hitters at the Oscars, besides Get Out, you had 3 Billboards, Shape of Water and Lady Bird are all female-led.
Yeah.
Like, not just even like half and half. They are female leads.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, that's again, they came out last year for America, so they'll be a part of that percentage. But for us, they've been some of the best films we've seen this year so far, and they're all female-led. Yeah. And all great performances. They're not just female-led and terrible, they are good performances. Yeah, they are. Black Panther, I know it had a male lead and it was about Black Panther, but it was essentially, the film did so well.
I feel like he was like a huge lead.
I feel like he did nowhere near as good as the others. I think he's good in it, but I think the others stood out a lot more.
Yeah, he was good, but he wasn't like the character that I was like most interested or intrigued about.
Sure, it was, I think, everyone's favourite. I think she is
she's awesome.
Interesting. I wonder if she'll become Iron Man. That'd be interesting.
What?
Well, Iron Man in the comics.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of her, but I know his role has been taken over by a black woman.
Oh, really?
So it'd be interesting if and she's very techy in Black Panther.
She is really.
So
yeah.
It'd be interesting if she became
That'd be
Iron
really
Man.
cool, actually.
And she'd be great at it because she's quite quippy and she's funny.
Yeah,
and she's young. She'd be a great little role model as Iron Man.
Yeah, she would.
In the suits. Black Panther was great because of the woman in it, as opposed to the men. And everyone's saying about Killmonger, but I don't think he stood up to them either.
No.
You've got Annihilation in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about more about in a bit.
I'm very excited
in the news.
about that. It looks like it's going to be as good as I'm hoping.
The picture I made it look like Ghostbusters, not in a bad way, but it was funny because it was a set of women walking, and they had like Ghostbusters uniforms on, but that's all female cast.
Yeah.
Red Sparrow Jennifer Lawrence is going to be a female-led, and like last year it was Atomic Blonde, so you have another female-led kind of spy film. A Wrinkle in Time is all female-led. It's a female cast. I know obviously there's Chris Pine and there's a little boy. I'm pretty sure, but it's all.
I feel like they're really more pushing Chris Pine as the lead for that though.
Do you? I know because I just looked at a lot of stuff online and it was saying Wrinkle in Time came up every time.
No, right.
So I don't know what the. I think it's because the whole cast is female besides.
Yeah.
Pine. Incredibles 2. It's going to be more centric on Elastigirl / Helen.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was going to say Reese Witherspoon's in A Wrinkle in Time, and she's like one of the main sort of pushers of the Time's Up.
It's Natalie Portman as well, and she's.
That's it. Is it Time's Up? You were thinking?
Yeah.
Of? Sorry. Yeah.
And then Natalie Portman was as well, was she not? And she's doing Annihilation.
Yeah. Put it down.
I'll
you keep making me jump
down on the floor and throw a ruler at your head. Incredibles 2.
Yes. Yeah.
It's focusing more on Helen.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, most iconic video game characters is female, and they're going to obviously have her own film now.
I think this is where the problem's going to come, though, is everyone's going, oh, look at all these female-led films, but if the percentages drop, then everyone's going to be like, oh, they're just fooling us with a few big blockbusters.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there's loads. This is in like 2 months into the year, how many there are. But even if the percentages drop, they're more in the public eye.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm saying. Because like I said last year, another thing, but this is what I'm saying about releasing the percentage. If you didn't release that percentage, people wouldn't know, and then people would still just see the side they will see will be the big films. It's like we always say about people didn't see Wind River and didn't see all the good films, and like all the Arrival and Sicario with amazing female leads, they don't ever seem to get any notice in these kind of things. It's the same way you're just using the big stuff. Ant-Man and the Wasp is now, I know it's joint, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, but you've got Evangeline Lilly is playing the Wasp, and people are going to be excited for that. Captain Marvel's going to be soon. It's got Black Widow's going to have her own film now. Cloverfield Paradox, that's the second Cloverfield film now, and it's female-led again.
And it was poo.
And it was poo. But it was a major release again, and it was female-led. You just hit yourself in the face with it again. Dark Phoenix, the next X-Men film, is female-led. Unfortunately, it's led by, I can't remember her name, girl from Game of Thrones. She's bringing me pants, but it's female-led again.
Yeah. What is her name?
Can't remember.
Daisy something? No.
No, that's Salt.
What's her name?
I can't remember. I think it's something really plain.
Daisy.
Did
she play a girl called Daisy or something? Anyway. What's her name? For goodness sake.
No.
What is her name?
Look it up. And then Proud Mary as well.
Proud Mary is such a funny poster.
It's a great poster, but it's quite funny.
Maisie.
That's the other one.
What's her name?
That's the young one. Maisie Williams.
Yeah.
That's not the one I meant. I mean the redhead. She's Jean Grey and.
Yeah, but she's going to be in.
Oh, and then Maisie Williams is doing New Mutants.
Yeah.
Which is being delayed till next year.
Yeah.
Proud Mary as well. It's going to be female-led. Another kind of John Wick style film. There's a lot. Smaller films I'm not too sure because I like doing films of this year. So don't you dare put that sun in my eye. Should be So it looks pretty decent in terms of the public eye and the bigger film releases. Seem like there's a lot more female-led stuff.
Yeah. No, it's true. It is true, and it's good that it's getting into the public eye, like you say, even if the percentage has dropped.
Yeah. I think the struggle is, saying this as a writer myself, I think the struggle is it's when I think the problem is the reason why there's probably less female roles is because there's more male. Will you stop showing that in my eye?
I'm not.
There are more male directors and writers.
Yeah.
That is a fact. I think if you're a writer or you're a director who's male, you're going to probably find it easier to write from a male perspective. So if you're writing your own,
I think people's thing is though that more male directors and writers get hired. There's not so much of a respect for female writers and directors, so they don't get hired, so the parts aren't getting put out there because females are writing. It's not
respect. It's just, I guess, because we just don't know enough about it. Because I don't know enough about.
No.
I know with Rick and Morty, you obviously got a team of writers now, and all the female writers got slashed by the fans, and then obviously the two. Then obviously they got It's interesting and. It is interesting, but I think it's been good that we've had Shape of Water, Lady Bird, and Three Billboards as the best films this year, which is nice. Especially Lady Bird because it's very much female. Oh, it's written by and directed by a Greta Gerwig, and it very much feels like a film written by a female.
I thought you were going to say who very much feels
You're
like a female.
shining it in my eye every time you turn that one away.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, Christ. What's the time for now? We'll leave that there.
News. I haven't got much because not much
very
has
much
happened.
news.
Not much is going on. Oh yeah, Annihilation being dropped on the flicks. 12th of March, coming at you. That's all the news. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna.
I think I've seen a lot of reviews for it. I think it's very high. It's being rated quite highly, but I feel like someone says it has more. It doesn't go as interesting ways as people think, or it has questions it could ask, but it doesn't bother going that way. But it does look very exciting anyway.
Does.
It's being dropped. Yeah, in the UK it's being dropped on Netflix instead of in the cinema now, which is why we had no posters for it yet. So we'll be watching it straight away. I thought it was in a week. Sadly, it's not. It's in 2 weeks. So we'll do that in 2 weeks. And we could probably do a few Netflix films together. We could do Annihilation and we'll probably save Mute for in 2 weeks' time.
For doing that, never, because it looks like it's going to be terrible.
No.
I'm very sorry, but I keep shining this in the TV because can you see the reflection of this?
I think that we're doing a podcast right now and we shouldn't worry about that.
I know, but everyone will find this really interesting. Look, when I shine it in the TV, look, can you see? Oh, it's not as strong now. Yeah, but can you see the X of like multicoloured X?
Yeah.
It looks like Shadow of the Colossus when you're trying to find.
Hello!
Look how bright
give me the
that
next
is.
bit of news.
They're gonna love it.
I'm trying to keep this under 1 hour, but it's gone over an hour now.
Oh,
if you hadn't have done that, this probably would have stayed under an hour.
But look how pretty. Oh,
it's wonderful.
All right.
Next bit of news.
Next bit of news. Jessica Jones season 2 trailer
was dropped in the last week. That's
I don't like
exciting. It's a lot of the old footage, doesn't it?
Well, it's not. I don't mind that so much because I don't mind them like keeping the new stuff for us to see when we actually watch the series. But I didn't like all the lines that she was saying when she was like, "I'm just trying to make a living in this godforsaken town." It was just like all really cliche lines, and I just did not enjoy that trailer.
Well, she's like that quite a lot. I think she talks about her drinking too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. It's not a very good trailer.
No, it's pretty naff.
Yeah.
What else is in a very good trailer?
What else is in a very good trailer? Fahrenheit 451.
Don't see much.
Looks pretty boring.
We just don't see much. I think again they might be saving
I'm
it.
excited to see Michael Shannon play a villain though, because I've not seen that yet 100 times. Do something new. Do something new. Do something new. You're getting boring. But the thing is, he's so good. But I'm genuinely like getting bored.
It wasn't the villain in Midnight Special.
No, I know, but that was like the first thing I saw him in. I think. No, it wasn't. But
yeah, it was. Man of Steel was. Have you watched it?
Yeah, well, I did watch it. Okay.
All right, is that all the news?
That's all my.
We done then?
We're done.
What's next week? Don't know yet.
Don't know.
Pretty Red Sparrow's out.
Oh yeah, probably Red Sparrow, Black Widow, Black
Sparrow. Red Widow. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my puns. Puns? I didn't say any puns.
Yeah, let's just leave it there before we get taken off the air.
All right. Taken off the air.